I got a trivia question. How do you stop 85? How do you stop 85?
Love Chad OchoCinco. Chad OchoCinco, I believe, raced a horse and won at one point in his career. Remember that?
Chad Johnson, OchoCinco, was this larger-than-life superhero, Marvel, Avenger character.
I'm gonna give you your money's worth before I leave today. Well, you gonna kiss the baby today. Hey, I can catch that one sitting on the toilet.
OchoCinco, I don't care where you're from in the country. If you were changing the channels and the Bengals were playing, you go, oh, no, I gotta see what's gonna happen here. If Chad was anywhere near the ball, I gotta see what's gonna happen.
Makes a move inside the 5. Touchdown, OchoCinco! And a little dance from Chad Johnson.
He's the kind of athlete that, like, really pisses off my dad.
What y'all talking about? Y'all talking about me?
Because they didn't have guys like Chad Johnson in the 60s and 70s.
If I get in the end zone, make sure you keep the camera on me.
Yes, some of the celebrations got a little out of control, but I like that.
And now he's running the camera.
He looked at Keyshawn, his cousin, and was like, no, that's not enough.
Chad, get your ass in the huddle!
I gotta up this.
The golf putt, when he put on the Hall of Fame jacket.
I don't know what kind of celebration we have going on here, but this is a real choreographed deal with Chad.
All that crazy stuff he would do was so much fun to watch, and that's what makes football so much fun. Characters like Chad OchoCinco, you never know what they're gonna do next.
There's 3 things in life that's certain. Death, taxes, and 85 gonna always be open.
Chad Johnson's talent is undeniable, but he gets stuck at number 7 because he's remembered more for his antics than for his ability.
People thought he was a freak show, so he doesn't get any respect. But as a receiver, I mean, you gotta be kidding me.
What a play! How about those for some hands?
This guy was absolutely unstoppable.
You can always count on me. I'm like life insurance.
6 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler.
Chad's out there. Got it! Throws long. Got Chad wide open. Touchdown, Chad Johnson!
This guy was maybe the greatest route runner of his generation. The most precise stuff works perfectly with Carson Palmer.
You go my way, because I'm going to be open. I got you.
Look at his numbers. He was a very effective wide receiver for a number of years. But he's known more for his Irish jig, his river dancing. He is actually catching touchdowns.
Chad, please.
That's not fair. When on the field, he was it. There might be wide receivers who are as good as Chad Johnson. I don't know if there's anyone actually better.
If you're just adding up creativity and different end zone celebrations, I don't think anyone beats Chad Johnson.
You were really good there for a while, and then all of a sudden you just jumped the gun. It was almost like he made himself jump the shark. I like when OchoCinco scores touchdowns because you know he's got something planned.
If I get in the end zone, make sure you keep the camera on me.
The camera always seems to find Chad OchoCinco, something that has endeared some and enraged others.
When he threw that Hall of Fame jacket on, I thought that was one of the best celebrations I've ever seen.
I thought it was classless and tasteless that Chad Johnson would put on a Hall of Fame yellow jacket while he was still playing.
The 05 season, I mean, not only was that a playoff season for the Bengals,
And it's playoff time! Who dat, baby? How about that?
but it was a playoff season and what he did in terms of end zone celebrations.
I got a great celebration for you guys. Again, just wait and see the next one.
Putting the football is pretty classic.
Looks like he's got a putt in front of him. And sinks it!
I particularly like when he revived the football in the end zone.
Chad Johnson trying to pump air into the ball.
One of Johnson's best celebrations is the proposal to the cheerleader.
Chad Johnson got on a knee like he was proposing to Daphne. I don't know if Daphne accepted or not.
In a season full of over-the-top celebrations, one stood out above the rest.
The river dance alone should be the top end zone celebration of all time.
Just looking at it, it's like you can hear Irish fiddles playing in the background.
I'm a sucker for the river dance. I thought he did it pretty well.
It showed culture, it showed class, it showed that maybe he could even join the ballet.
I don't know what kind of celebration we have going on here, but this is a real choreographed deal with Chad.
I think if it wasn't for the river dance, Chad might not have gotten on Dancing with the Stars.
While 2005's celebrations put Chad on the map, it's one that he didn't do that some will remember.
That was the year in Detroit where the Bengals came to town. and he caught a touchdown pass.
Touchdown, Chad Johnson!
And everybody was expecting OchoCinco to do something really big.
What's the celebration?
He ended up just going off the field, no celebration.
Hands the ball to the official, and the fans boo.
I remember being so disappointed as a football fan.
I guarantee you, every Sunday, people would tune in just to see if Chad Johnson scored and what is he going to do this week.
I'm going to give you your money's worth before I leave today.
Nobody has shown more creativity in celebrations in the history of the National Football League than OchoCinco.
Refs want to see what I'm going to do. That's when you know you're good, huh?
Chad Johnson's end zone celebrations have kind of the career arc of Madonna. At the beginning, pioneer, looked like a surefire Hall of Famer for end zone celebrations. And now, I think we're on the back nine for his end zone celebrations.
Child, please. Child, please.